Family, it's your guy, the Energy Coach, back with another special energy report. And today we're going to get into hip hop rap and the influence it has on our people. This is going to be a unique one. So I want y'all to really pay attention. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and tell me what y'all think. I'm going to talk after these clips and give my opinion, but I really want to know what y'all think. So make sure y'all pay attention.
When it comes to hip hop, and when it comes to the life lessons that we're learning from hip hop, it's like, man, who is y'all teacher? And we
Okay, so before I get into it, let me just read what it says. Rapper D1 and Math Hof have a Math Hofa have a big disagreement over whether rappers are role models and leaders and have a responsibility to put out a better message. That's what we're talking about today.
looking at our favorite rappers like, well, I've been listening to him my whole life. And they either saying, well, I ain't no role model. I'm just a hustler. I'm just getting money out this game. You shouldn't be looking up to me, da-da-da. Bro, you might not have asked for it, but God has blessed you to be in a leadership position if you are a popular rapper. How many dudes want to be successful rappers?
I don't think that's a blessing.
To be a popular rapper?
No. I don't think it's a blessing that you're in a leadership position. Let's think about this.
It's a responsibility.
Let's think about this. A leadership position. Rappers aren't politicians.
Nah.
This is a testament of how far we've fallen in a structure of society when there's no parents, when there's no real teachers, when there's no real role models. We're looking at a TV screen. We're listening to a radio to find a leader.
When it comes to hip hop, and when it comes to the life lessons that
leader, this ain't where every other nation find their leaders. Nah, the leaders is out in the street. They doing work in the communities. They doing that. Why are we the only people that have to go to MTV or go to Spotify to find a leader? It's a testimony of how fucked up shit is for us.
Niggas watch movies. Niggas watch gangster movies and all of that and want to be that
none of that,
old dog.
None of that negates the responsibility of the person who's sending out the message.
But there is a responsibility.
It is.
Does Weird Al Yankovic have a fucking responsibility to his listeners?
Don't call it responsibility if you don't want to take it, but there's still accountability. You're accountable because you said this.
No, you're accountable. You're accountable if you listen to this shit.
That's bullshit.
And you made it a life philosophy.
That's bullshit.
There's Bibles, there's Qurans, there's so many other things you could pick to follow than this.
No,
seriously.
I thought, bro,
Peter? This ain't,
honest.
I am being honest, because if Old Dirty Bastard is the first rapper you listen to, you're going to look at Old Dirty Bastard and be like, why you not teaching the youth? That's Old Dirty Bastard, my nigga.
That's an exception.
He's having fun.
But Old Dirty Bastard.
It's fun.
Come on, bro.
Nah, bro. You can't take the fun out of it.
When I grew up in New Orleans and we, our culture was centered around violence. They got a Lil Wayne verse that it just be in my head. So listen to this verse. I'm a little elementary school, middle school student growing up listening to this verse, right? Mm-hmm. Not even 13 years old. When I ride, the shopper be on my side, dog. Niggas better run, duck, hide, dog, cause I'm about to let bullets fly, dog. Bop, get it right. They all know Lil Weezy ride at night. I dip low and I'm strapped up tight. Duct tape your mama and shoot off in your wife, nigga. Love. Ain't nothing nice around here, stupid. Keep playing, you won't.
I am.
See next year, stupid. Keep spraying. The Mag 11 burst, hit him where it hurts. I'ma shoot first, so this. Come on, man. I ain't even done yet. And I'm a little kid.
Sound like you was battling us, though. You was shooting that man.
Right.
Now shoot.
But let's be clear.
You sound like
a teenager wrote that. Would I look to a teenager for leadership?
My whole generation looked up to Lil Wayne.
A teenager wrote that.
Okay, but his OG co-signed it. The same.
What does that have to do with anything?
Because
again,
we're getting away. No, hold on, stop. We're getting away from the point you made earlier.
I dare one of my sons to come in the house talk about, I'm gonna follow this rapper. I'm gonna go upside his head.
He's not gonna say that. Cause he ain't that. No,
he's never gonna say that.
He's never gonna
sit
say
around
that
and be like, yo, you hear this dumb shit?
But see,
don't believe it. It's fun to listen to, but don't believe it. Yeah. That's because they have a father.
Yeah. See next year.
Okay, so first, I want to say I see from both points of view. But it's something that I've been feeling like for the longest time, and I think we have to know that entertainment has been weaponized against us. It's something that they talk about. They say that in the early '90s, it was something happening in LA with a whole bunch of executive producers and record labor owners. And they was having a meeting with Diddy and with Dr. Dre and a couple other people, and that's they changed the frequency and start introducing the G Funk music or gangster funk. Now, the reason why this is kind of interesting, this whole topic in general, is because if you remember pre '90s, pre NWA, it was mostly artists like Public Enemy, KRS-One, and rappers of that kind of funkadelic, that kind of vibe, and they were control of the music. They was pushing the music of revolution. They was hip hop and rap was used as a representation, to inspire the people. Yeah, it was fun, but it was used more for reflecting what's happening in the environment, and it still is reflecting what's happening in the environment. But because things have switched, you got to ask the question, which come first, the chicken or the egg? Does the message that these rappers put out that become these trending topics, or becomes these trends that set for these younger generations, like currently right now, if you listen to this, it's 2024, and you got it's did a flip, and the women are in control. You got rappers like Sexy Red, Megan Thee Stallion, Ice Spice, and Sukiana. These kind of women, they are all front and center, and the younger women are implementing what they're doing. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like yes, the women, or yes, the rappers are put out there, and these younger generation, even some adults, they want to be like these rappers. But I agree with what the other guy was saying too, because they are not supposed to be the leaders. They got placed in those positions, but they are not supposed to be in those leadership positions. It's entertainment. It's to entertain. It's to keep you looking at something, like keep your eyes off of other things. It's all fun and game and ha ha ha. These rappers are just trying to get a check. You get what I mean? Most of them, they just doing whatever they can do to get that money, to get that bag, to be relevant. And the issue is that the people who own the labels, the people who are the executive producers, they are telling these rappers to push a certain kind of agenda, and then the agenda becomes the trend. And that's the issue. So you have a few rappers who are actually using this as they're using a platform to actually push what was pushed when rap first was starting. That revolutionary, trying to get people to be more conscious. But that's still not, they're not supposed to be that high. They're not supposed to have that much influence, because you are responsible for your own life. We need better leaders out here, and then also too, a lot of people don't understand that everything that they see in the on TV is smoke and mirrors. Everything you see on the screen is smoke and mirrors. Even these videos, these videos get edited, unless you just screen recording like this, like I'm just shooting off the hip. But when they get recorded, they get edited, they go through a process, they have to get, dolled up. So anytime you see these things, it's a certain type of presentation that they want you to see. Just like movies, they want you to see this in a specific type of way. They spend a certain amount of money to present a certain type of image to you. You get what I'm saying? Let me see if it's something else with this.
Father.
Yeah,
bro. When there's no
Let's listen to what he's saying. Let's listen.
father, okay, no mother that got common sense.
So since we know that most of these kids are not growing up in healthy households, we as people that have been blessed to be in leadership positions need to say, yo,
it's not a leadership.
It is.
Bro,
it is. It is.
Hey, bro,
the fact
of father. Yeah.
So I'm gonna play this again because I want to
When it comes to hip hop, and when it comes to the life lessons that we're learning from hip hop, it's like, man, who is y'all teacher? And
they learning these life lessons again. Like I said, these rappers and these artists, they write these songs, but 9 times out of 10, they write these songs based off of what they already know is going to sell, especially the ones that are higher up, because they're told, hey, you have to put out a song like this. Most rappers and entertainers or artists, they don't have a say-so on the music that they present unless they are independent. So you got to ask yourself, who is really pushing this agenda? You get what I'm saying? So it's like, you can't look at these rappers and entertainers as leaders if they not even leading their own life. You get what I mean? They are following somebody else or doing what somebody else is telling them to do because of the contract, because of that check. So you can't put them in that position.
Looking at our favorite rappers like, well, I've been listening to him my whole life.
You've been listening to a whole life, but how did they get on?
This ain't where every other nation find a...
Now, this is also important. I spent a lot of time overseas in Australia and even in the Philippines. And yes, this is not where other nations find their leadership. However, we have a serious influence on people around the world. And they look up to our part of the world something crazy. Like whatever becomes a trend here, it inspires and it becomes a narrative for others, for other countries, especially the youth. Like you could go look up music in Japan and look for Japanese trap music or trap music, and you feel me, Ireland trap music, in Australia. You could look for this type of different styles, you know, Crips and Bloods in Africa. You know, it's a lot of stuff that we don't understand how far our reach goes, you know? So we have to be more mindful. But you have to be mindful of the whole everything. You got to see the whole game. You get what I'm saying?
Leaders? Nah, the leaders is out in the street. They doing work in the communities. They doing that.
They doing work in the communities. These rappers are doing work in the communities, but it's not the productive type of work that needs to be done. They doing the work of what they told to be and do. You know, that's what they doing. And yes, this also plays a part. You become more aware the older you get. Like, don't get me wrong, I was hip to game, you feel me? When I was young, I knew what it was. You know, when I was 18, I was in LA, you know, going from the Bay and seeing that, man, it was a lot of funny business going on behind the scenes. Like a lot of rappers' jewelry was fake. The models don't look like what they look like on in person, that on camera. The cars and the houses is rented. It's all make believe. Yet you have these younger individuals that's seeing it repetitively, consistently. It's magic. You feel me? They seeing it. These spells is being put on their mind, and they saying, "Hey, I want to be like that," because it is being bombarded on their psyche. So now they start to act like it because they seeing it all over their environment. Their parents listen to it. Their peers are listening to it. They every time they go to, you know, turn on the TV, turn on the radio, turn on the iPod, turn on whatever they going to, the concerts, it's the same thing. So they assume, hey, this must be what it be. Unless you come to a certain type or a certain level of awareness and take yourself out of that mentality of following the masses, you're not going to see the behind the illusion. You get what I'm saying?
Why are we the only people that have to go to MTV or go to Spotify to find a leader?
We're not the only people.
No. See next year.
A father.
Yeah.
Bro,
when there's no father or no mother that got common sense.
So since we know that most of these kids are not growing up in healthy.
See, now I thought that this was important because a lot of these households, they may have a mother. They may have a father. Some may be fortunate enough to have two-parent households. Some even more. But regardless, do these parents have common sense? You know, are they keeping it solid with they children and saying, hey, you know what? I know what you seeing. I know what you hearing in this music, but you got to know this ain't real life. It's real consequences when it comes to, you feel me, trying to live this lifestyle. You know, whether you trapping whether you tripping, you feel me, and you just trying to feed young girls on a sexy red, like, hey, just trying to get it in, with different kind of dudes, or just trying to play dudes out their money. Man, it's real consequences for your actions. It don't matter, whatever it is. You gotta know it's actions and it's reactions. It's consequences for anything that you do, good and bad. And you gotta be able to be aware of that, and you gotta be able to accept that. But it falls back on the parents. The parents have to keep it solid with their children. Don't expose them to this if you're not gonna keep it solid with them. Do you have them thinking that this illusion is something that's real? And that's what we see around our community. Monkey see, monkey do. You got all these little ones running around, you feel me, with sticks on their Glocks, you feel me, and with switches and everything like that. They don't have a care for life. You get what I mean? And then the girls is not too much better. They getting to the point where they starting to run around with pistols, but also they don't care about their bodies. And the same thing with dudes. Like when I was younger, it all through the early 2000s, you feel me, late 90s, the message that was being pushed on us was sex, violence, and drugs. Like that's what it was. Get to trapping. Don't worry about nothing but money. Don't give a fuck about human life. Keep fucking as many females you can, and you feel me. Take drugs. That's it. Sell drugs, take drugs, get money. You feel me? Shoot up, bang bang. And if you look around our communities, that's all you seeing right now. We got so many broken homes and so many people, you feel me, that is just, you got grown ass men that's still on this mentality. The craziest part is you got grown ass men that never was with the shit, you feel me, when they was younger, and now they trying to hop off the porch to be with the shit. Like, bruh, you like 30 something. You like pushing 40. Like, come on, bruh, what are you doing? So I just think that that's important, man. I think that that's super important. I thought this was a good conversation. My bad for getting so passionate, but I'm passionate about this topic. Shout out to Welcome to the Culture. I thought this was a great video. And I got something to piggyback off of that. The reason why I say, as far as like a prime example of somebody who was a big music mongrel, and I'm gonna just play this. Okay, so a big music mongrel, and this was from his old bodyguard. Gene Deal says Diddy treated Kim Porter worse than Cassie, but she failed to escape him. And you see this picture of what they use, and this is from Bars by the Culture. The reason why I'm playing this is because Diddy is one of the biggest names in hip hop, music in general. You feel me? And over the last weeks, we've been seeing how Diddy has been doing, or how the video of how he did Cassie, And it's like, is this supposed to be y'all leader? You get what I'm saying? Like, is this supposed to be a leader? What, you get what I'm saying? How many people are following in his footsteps, trying to be like him because of what was presented through the music videos, what was presented through the records and the songs? You get what I mean? Like, hey, it's cool to listen to the music if you want to, but don't implement your life off of that. Don't, you feel me, try and mimic what you see or what you hear, because that's failure. You setting yourself up for failure. And nothing out here is happening by mistake. This is all by design, but you got to be able to really use your third eye to see beyond the illusion. You get what I'm saying? I'm going to play this video.
Well, some of the stuff I've been saying is coming true, but all of the stuff that I say is true, and that's facts. You know what I'm saying? Just with this Cassie thing, I didn't know her, but I knew somebody like her, and that was Kim Porter. I didn't know Cassie, but I knew somebody who was going through the same thing she was going through, and that was Kim Porter. So people ask me, and they send me clips of Cassie, I guess it's an affidavit to the courts, of what she experienced. And it's like, it was the same thing Kim was going through. The same thing, bro.
Well, some of the stuff.
So I say part of what I want to say is, so is this the kind of role models or kind of leadership that we supposed to be having? You know, like do we really want our our children, our youth think it is cool to treat women like that? Like real shit. Like, do we really want these little girls, to grow up thinking that being treated like that is okay? You feel me? As long as a nigga cashing out, as long as a nigga buying them shit, as long as a nigga is tricking off, you feel me? It's okay for him to treat you like shit. No, we gotta cut the bullshit. Like for real, for real. We gotta grow up and we gotta start keeping it solid with the youth. That's the problem. We don't keep it solid with them. We treat them like children in some situations, and not tell them the real. But then we expose them to too much adult shit. You feel me? And without any context, without any filter, you feel me, of letting them know what it is. We have to be better. Men, we have to be better. Mainly the men. Men, we have to be better. We have to be better, you feel me, to these women. We have to be better to these children. We have to be better to our communities. And more importantly, we have to be better to ourselves. We have to be better.
Was going through the same thing. The beatings, you know what I'm saying? Like I said before, and now I could say one time when I know Kim had defended herself, and I told people this, and now everybody, after Cassie report comes out, everybody want to show the picture now. You see a picture on the internet going with Puff, right hand is in a bandage. That's the night I was called by Paul to meet him over at St. Luke's Hospital. He had a white T-shirt wrapped around his wrist. Was going through the same thing, the beatings, because Kim had took the cork, when you open up wine, the corkscrew. She took the corkscrew and caught him on his wrist, defending himself, and he almost, I know he tore some ligament, but he almost hit an artery or came close to the artery or either scratched it or cut it a little bit because he just kept bleeding. And from that point on, it was hooked. That's when I knew. Like, I knew when they was talking about people getting addicted and hooked on pain medicines, that's what happened to him. And it was from his right wrist that he's reminded by Kim all the time now. Because Kim had...
Man, yeah, man, we got to be more accountable. We got to be more accountable, man. We got to start keeping it solid. And it's really on those, you feel me, that, man, no. We gotta push better. You feel me? To the younger ones that don't know, it's like it's not cool being game goofy at all. But we know that the youth is more game goofy. It ain't cool being game goofy as an adult. That's for sure not cool. It really ain't cool being game goofy as a man. You gotta be on point, man. You gotta be on point. You gotta keep it solid. So I'm gonna play one more video. You feel me? That has to do with that. And I'm going to spin it around because it may seem like it's kind of off.
Can an artist between the ages of 30 and 55 years old still make it in the music?
I want y'all to listen to what he says. You feel me? Because it's real, and I'm just listening to what he said.
Industry, absolutely. Only thing older artists need to understand is their fan base. Number one, don't come out here thinking that you about to win over the 16, 17-year-olds because y'all don't have the same mindset. You need to be focused on your audience around your age bracket. You need to only be making music for people who can understand your mindset, and that's not going to be kids.
That's the only thing I don't agree with. An older mindset is gonna be more solid about, you feel me, about the truth. They're gonna keep it real, about a lot of things that they have experienced that a lot of the youth haven't went through yet, and they may be going to experience, and they're gonna give them a different point of view. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about one that's like one that is like, still on the agenda and pushing some falseness. I'm talking about like they gonna keep it solid. Like, hey, man, be on your shit. Don't be wasting time being on bullshit. You get what I mean? And I feel like if more start passing that message down, because don't get me wrong, music is incredibly powerful. It's probably one of the most incredible powerful forces on the planet. And if it's used correctly, man, we could spark a whole generation, man, of brilliant, empathetic thinkers, thinkers, and not just thinkers, but those who got that action. You feel me? That real productive, beneficial action where they actually moving forward, you know? But yeah, I just wanted to share this video, man. Forgive me for getting so loud. Like I said, I'm passionate about it. Y'all go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe, man. And y'all tell me what y'all think about it. What's y'all opinion on this? Are these rappers supposed to be put in these positions as leaders? Are they supposed to be like? Do we need to like remove them and or do they just need to start keeping it solid? You get what I mean? Like, what is the answer that we need to do? Please like, comment, subscribe. I really want to know. All right, y'all be smooth.